Samurai weren't just skilled fighters. They were gods among men. Their legends deliberately blurred the line between warrior and deity. This spiritual power was as vital as their swords. Take Uesugi Kenshin, worshipped by his men as Bishamonten, the god of war. His followers didn't just see a brilliant general, they saw divine will made flesh. His undefeated record against the legendary Takeda Shingen wasn't just tactics, it was proof of godhood. That belief forged an army willing to charge into certain death, convinced their lord was invincible. For the enemy, facing a living god wasn't a battle. It was a terrifying spiritual crisis before the first arrow flew. This divine status was a conscious weapon, but the spiritual armor went deeper than one man's legend. Bushido, the so-called Way of the Warrior, is often misunderstood as a death cult. For a lord like Takeda Shingen, it was about using overwhelming strength to protect life and preserve honor. His famous motto was, "Swift as the wind, quiet as a forest, fierce as fire, immovable as a mountain." He used that philosophy not just to conquer, but to administer and bring stability to his domain. The code gave their violence a righteous purpose, transforming bloodshed into a sacred duty. That conviction is what allowed a samurai to stand firm when outnumbered 10-1. Their edge was honed in silence, not just on the battlefield. Zen Buddhism, practiced by masters like the sword saint Miyamoto Musashi, taught a lethal clarity. Musashi's famed Book of Five Rings is less a manual of sword strokes and more a treatise on emptying the mind to perceive an opponent's intention before they move. This detachment, achieved through meditation, rock gardens, and the tea ceremony, wasn't about peace. It was about creating a void within themselves where fear and hesitation couldn't exist. In the chaos of battle, that inner stillness was the difference between a reflexive parry and a fatal delay. And this divine power was fiercely protected through bloodline. Lineage was everything. Even the son of a concubine, like Oda Nobunaga's heir, Oda Nobutada, was a valued asset, a legitimate vessel for the clan's divine legacy and political future. Nobutada wasn't a sidelined bastard. He was commanding armies for his father. Why? Because myth and divine right were hereditary. God's power had to pass to a descendant, or the entire spiritual edifice of the clan would collapse. The relentless civil wars weren't just about land. They were about which bloodline the gods would favor to rule Japan. The myth demanded a dynasty.